stop everything. The Department of Energy just warned that blackout hours could increase 100 times by 2030, and what happened in 1977 New York is about to become your worst nightmare. In one night, looters set over 1,000 fires, vandalized nearly 2,000 properties, and there were almost 3,000 arrests. And right now in 2025, there are 12 specific places you need to avoid at all costs when the lights go out. Let's get into it. Listen, I'm not here to scare you, but I am here to prepare you. Because here's what nobody's talking about. A recent nationwide study identified 318 counties across 45 states that are now considered high-risk hotspots for frequent and prolonged blackouts. We're not talking about a quick flicker anymore. Power demand is growing faster than ever before, while the supply of reliable around-the-clock power is shrinking. And when those lights go out, history shows us exactly what happens. During the 1977 New York blackout, around 4,500 looters were arrested and 550 police officers were injured. That's not ancient history, folks. That's the blueprint for what could happen in any major city in America today. So today, I'm breaking down the 12 places that become absolute danger zones the second a blackout hits. These aren't random guesses. These are based on actual 2025 incidents, historical patterns, and law enforcement intelligence. Stick around because number 7 will absolutely shock you. Place 1, big box grocery stores. All right, let's start with the most obvious target on the list, but don't skip ahead because what's happening right now makes this 10 times worse than you think. Big box grocery stores, Walmart, Target, Kroger, your local supermarket chain, these places are ground zero when chaos hits. And here's why this should terrify you in 2025. We're not just talking about random looting anymore. With SNAP benefits under threat and social media doing what it does best, spreading panic, retailers like Walmart have been directly threatened with organized, coordinated mass looting events. This isn't speculation. Viral TikTok videos are literally instructing people exactly when and how to do it. One video I saw said, and I'm quoting here, November 3rd at 6:30, we're going to Walmart. At 7:30, we're going to walk out with our buggies. They can't catch everybody. Read that again. They're broadcasting their plans publicly because they know the math works in their favor. Now imagine that same coordination during a blackout. Security systems? Dead. Cameras? Useless. Electronic locks? Open. Police response? They're dealing with hundreds of simultaneous calls across the entire city. These stores transform into free-for-alls in minutes. Look, I get it. Groceries are necessities. Food, water, baby formula. During a crisis, people rationalize taking what they need as survival. You can debate the morality all you want, but that debate doesn't keep you safe. Here's the bottom line. When the lights go out, big box grocery stores become war zones. Period. You need to stay as far away from these locations as humanly possible. Your safety isn't worth a cart full of food. Place 2, electronics stores, number 2 on our danger list, and this one should make you nervous if you work anywhere near a shopping district. Electronics retailers. We're talking Apple stores, Best Buy, Microsoft stores, GameStop, any place that sells high-value tech. These places are absolute magnets for looters. And I'm not exaggerating when I say they'll be hit within the first hour of a major blackout. Here's some recent proof that should wake you up. During the 2025 Los Angeles protests following those immigration enforcement operations, looters didn't waste time. They went straight for the Apple store downtown. They hit Best Buy. They targeted every tech retailer they could find. And here's what should scare you. That wasn't even during a blackout. That was just regular civil unrest with the lights still on and cameras still recording. Now put yourself in the mindset of someone looking to loot during a crisis. Not saying you would, but just think about the logic for a second. iPhones retail for what? $800 to $1,500? Laptops go for $1,000 to $3,000. iPads, AirPods, gaming consoles, high-end headphones, every single item in these stores is compact, incredibly valuable, and has an instant resale market. A single person with a backpack can walk out of an Apple store with $20,000 worth of merchandise in under 3 minutes. That's the reality we're dealing with. And here's where it gets even more dangerous. Back during the 2003 Northeast blackout, there were break-ins in Brooklyn and small-scale larceny scattered throughout the affected areas. But that was 2003. No smartphones, no group chats, no TikTok coordination. Fast forward to today, and social media has completely changed the game. The second a blackout hits within literal minutes, groups can organize on Telegram, Signal, or private Facebook groups. They can coordinate simultaneous hits on multiple Best Buy locations across a city. They can share real-time updates about which stores have been breached and which ones still have inventory. Law enforcement can't keep up with that level of coordination. They just can't. So here's my advice, and I'm being dead serious. If you're anywhere near an electronics store when the power goes out, you need to leave that area immediately. Don't be curious. Don't slow down to see what's happening. These places will be swarmed faster than you can imagine. Place 3, pharmacies and drugstores. Coming in at number 3, and this one's particularly disturbing when you really think about the implications, pharmacies and drugstores. CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, your local independent pharmacy down the street. Now, you might be thinking, why would someone target a pharmacy during a blackout? And that's exactly why this one's so dangerous. Most people don't see it coming. Let me paint you a picture from September 2023 in Philadelphia. Looting broke out across the city, and in one single retail corridor, 6 businesses got hit. 3 of them were pharmacies. 3. And one pharmacy owner described the scene like this. Looters didn't just take over-the-counter stuff. They stole prescriptions, electronics, cash registers, anything they could carry. But here's where this gets really dark. We're not talking about people grabbing Tylenol and cough syrup. Prescription drugs, especially controlled substances like opioids, anxiety medications, ADHD meds, these have serious street value. There's always demand, always a market. And during a blackout, forget about it. Pharmacies lose everything that makes them secure. The refrigeration for insulin and other temperature-sensitive medications, gone. The sophisticated alarm systems, dead. The electronic safes that store controlled substances, some stay locked, but others fail open when power cuts out. The ability to verify prescriptions and check patient databases, completely offline. It's absolute chaos behind that counter when the lights go out. Now, here's the part that should make everyone angry, not just scared. When pharmacies get looted, it's not just a property crime. It's not just about the store owner losing inventory and money. Real people who depend on life-saving medications suddenly can't get their refills. Diabetics can't get insulin. Heart patients can't get their blood pressure meds. Kids with asthma can't get their inhalers. The ripple effects are devastating, and they hit the most vulnerable people hardest. And here's something else to consider. Pharmacies know their targets now. Some have hired armed security. Some pharmacists are carrying their own protection. So during a blackout, when tensions are already sky high, visibility is near zero, and everyone's operating on fear and adrenaline, you've got a recipe for violence. You do not want to be caught in the crossfire of a pharmacy robbery during a blackout. Trust me on this. So if you absolutely need emergency medication during a power outage, here's what you do. Call ahead if phone lines are working. Go during daylight hours only. Bring someone with you. And if you see any crowds gathering outside a pharmacy or anything that looks remotely suspicious, turn around immediately and find another location. Place 4, liquor stores number 4 on our list. And yeah, I know what you're thinking right now. Liquor stores? Really? That seems almost cliche, right? But hear me out, because what's happening with these places in 2025 is way more strategic than you might expect. During those Philadelphia looting incidents I mentioned earlier, a liquor store in the only neighborhood along Adams Avenue got absolutely demolished, wiped out. And this wasn't random vandalism or opportunistic theft. This was targeted. Here's why liquor stores are dangerous hotspots during blackouts. Alcohol is valuable, it's compact, it's easy to carry, and most importantly, it has instant resale value. You can flip a bottle of premium whiskey or a case of craft beer within hours of stealing it. It's basically currency during a crisis. Think about it from a practical standpoint. A single person can load up a shopping cart with thousands of dollars worth of alcohol in under 5 minutes. High-end bourbon, some bottles go for $200, $300, even $500. Tequila, vodka, wine, it all moves fast on the street. But there's also a symbolic element here that makes liquor stores especially vulnerable. During moments of lawlessness, these places become targets because they represent excess and luxury in people's minds. They're not essential like pharmacies. They're not necessary like grocery stores. So in the chaos of a blackout, they're seen as fair game. And here's the tactical reason criminals love hitting liquor stores. They're usually standalone buildings. Not tucked into a big mall with security, not part of a strip center with multiple witnesses, just a single-story building with big windows, a parking lot for easy access, and maybe 1 or 2 employees max. Most liquor stores don't have sophisticated alarm systems that function without power. They don't have backup generators. They don't have the kind of security infrastructure that a big retailer might have. When the lights go out, they're sitting ducks. Now let's talk about the danger to you as a regular person. If you're driving through your city during a blackout and you see a liquor store, especially in an urban area or along a commercial corridor, take a different route. Don't slow down to look. Don't be curious about what's happening. Just keep moving and get to safety. Place 5, jewelry stores. At number 5, we've got jewelry stores, and the speed at which these places get targeted should absolutely terrify you. Let me give you a stat that'll make your jaw drop. During the 2003 blackout, a jewelry store on Ottawa's Spark Street got robbed 30 minutes after the power went off. 30 minutes. That's how fast professional criminals can mobilize when opportunity strikes. These aren't amateur smash and grabs we're talking about. These are coordinated operations by people who've been planning and waiting for exactly this kind of moment. Fast forward to 2025 and nothing's changed except the criminals have gotten smarter. During those Los Angeles looting incidents earlier this year, jewelry stores downtown were among the first targets hit. Not by accident, by design. Here's why jewelry stores are such attractive targets during blackouts. The math is insane. A single display case, just one glass case, can contain $50,000 to $200,000 worth of merchandise. Rings, necklaces, watches, diamonds, gold chains, all of it small enough to fit in your pockets or a small bag. You could smash one case, grab what you can in 15 seconds, and walk away with enough value to change your life. That's the calculation happening in criminals' minds the second the lights go out. And unlike electronics that can be tracked, or medications that require specific knowledge to sell, jewelry has a universal market. Gold is gold, diamonds are diamonds. You can melt down gold jewelry and sell it by weight. You can pop stones out of settings and sell them individually. The resale infrastructure already exists everywhere. But here's where this gets really dangerous for innocent people like you and me. Jewelry stores know their prime targets. They've always known. So even during normal business hours, many have armed security guards. Some owners keep weapons behind the counter. These places are already operating with a defensive mindset. Now imagine a blackout scenario. The power's out, the alarm system's dead, the surveillance cameras aren't recording, and everyone inside that store, employees, owners, security, they're all on edge, running on adrenaline and fear. When looters show up, and they will show up fast, the potential for violence is extremely high. We're talking armed confrontations in near total darkness with limited visibility and zero police response time. You do not want to be anywhere near a jewelry store when this goes down. Place 6, shoe stores number 6 might actually surprise you, and honestly, it surprised me when I started researching this. Athletic shoe stores, Foot Locker, WSS, Shoe Palace, JD Sports, Finish Line. These places have become major targets in a way that's totally changed over the last few years. Let me give you some fresh examples from 2025 that'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. In July, a WSS shoe store near Carson got completely looted during a street takeover at 3 in the morning. And during those Philadelphia incidents, the Foot Locker in Center City was one of the hardest hit stores in the entire downtown area. So why shoes? What's the appeal here? Well, think about premium athletic footwear for a second. Air Jordans can cost $200 to $500 a pair. Limited edition Yeezys, some go for $1,000 or more on the resale market. Nike Dunks, rare New Balance collabs, exclusive Adidas drops, these aren't just shoes anymore. They're investments. They're currency. And here's the thing that makes them perfect targets during a blackout. They're easy to carry. They come in standardized sizes that everyone needs, and there's a massive established resale market already in place. You can post stolen sneakers on apps like GOAT or StockX within hours and have buyers lined up. But what's really evolved in 2025 is the coordination between street takeovers and looting events. This is a pattern we're seeing in cities across America now. Groups will organize a street takeover, where dozens of cars block an intersection and do donuts while crowds gather. That creates chaos and pulls police resources to one location. Then while cops are dealing with the takeover, other groups hit nearby retail stores, and shoe stores are always on that target list. During a blackout, this coordination becomes even more effective because police are already overwhelmed responding to emergency calls across the entire city. They can't be everywhere at once. Here's what you need to understand. If you hear reports of street takeovers happening in your area during a blackout, avoid those corridors entirely. Don't drive through them. Don't try to take shortcuts. Those areas are about to become war zones, and shoe stores in those districts will be looted within minutes of the takeover starting. And it's not just the big chain stores either. Small, independent sneaker boutiques get hit even harder because they often carry the rarest, most valuable inventory. Place 7, sporting goods stores. Number 7, and this is the one I promised would shock you, high-end sporting goods and athletic apparel stores. We're talking Lululemon, Nike flagship stores, premium athletic retailers, REI, places you probably shop at regularly and consider totally safe. Let me hit you with a number that'll change how you see these stores forever. During the Bay Area smash and grab wave, the Lululemon at San Jose's Santana Row got absolutely ransacked. Looters walked out with over $40,000 in expensive exercise gear, $40,000 from one store in one hit. Now, let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about a Walmart or a typical sporting goods store. This is Lululemon, a place where yoga pants cost $100, where a single jacket runs $300, where people go to buy workout clothes that cost more than most people's car payments. And that's exactly why these places are gold mines for looters. The inventory value is absolutely insane. Every single item hanging on those racks is worth serious money. And unlike jewelry that needs to be fenced, or electronics that can be tracked, athletic wear is easy to sell. Post it on Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, or Mercari, and it's gone within hours. Here's what makes this particularly dangerous during a blackout. These stores are almost always located in upscale shopping districts, places where people feel safe. Places with wide sidewalks, fancy lighting, outdoor seating, art installations. You know, the kind of shopping areas where families go on weekends. That sense of security is completely false the second the power goes out. What we've seen in recent looting incidents is that multiple organized groups can hit retail stores simultaneously across different neighborhoods. They're coordinating in real time through encrypted messaging apps. One group hits the Lululemon in downtown. Another group hits the Nike store in the mall across town. A third group targets the premium outdoor gear shop in the suburbs. Law enforcement can't respond to all of them at once. They have to prioritize, and while they're making those impossible decisions, these stores get cleaned out. But here's the part that should really concern you. These upscale shopping districts attract crowds even during emergencies. Some people genuinely don't understand the danger. They think, oh, this is the nice part of town. Nothing bad happens here. Wrong. History proves that wrong every single time. Place 8, cannabis dispensaries. At number 8, we've got cannabis dispensaries. And regardless of how you feel about legalization, these businesses have become absolute magnets for criminals during any kind of civil unrest. Let me give you the recent data that backs this up. During those Los Angeles looting incidents in 2025, multiple marijuana dispensaries got broken into across the city, and in Philadelphia, the Curaleaf store had a car literally slammed through the front entrance during the chaos. A car. They drove a vehicle through the building. That's the level of aggression we're seeing with these targets now. So why are dispensaries such high-risk locations during blackouts? Well, there are 4 major reasons, and you need to understand all of them. First, cash. Because of federal banking restrictions, many dispensaries still operate heavily in cash. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars in bills sitting in safes on the property. That's like having a bank vault without the security of an actual bank. Second, the product itself has immediate street value. You don't need to fence it, you don't need a special buyer. Cannabis sells itself, and there's always demand. Third, and this is tactical, many dispensaries are in standalone locations. They're not tucked into big shopping malls with shared security. They're often in converted storefronts or standalone buildings that are easy to access and easy to escape from. Multiple entry points, parking lots for quick getaways. Fourth, their entire security infrastructure is dependent on electricity. These places have sophisticated camera systems, electronic locks, alarm systems that notify police. All of it requires power. When a blackout hits, all of those defenses go dark simultaneously. It's like removing every layer of protection at once. Now, here's something most people don't think about. Dispensaries also stock expensive ancillary products. High-end vaporizers that cost $300 to $500, concentrates that are worth more per gram than the flower, edibles with long shelf lives. It's not just about the marijuana itself. And because these are legal businesses now, they're required to keep detailed inventory records. During a blackout, when their computer systems go down, they can't even track what's being stolen in real time. If you live near a dispensary or work in the same area, you need to be extra vigilant during any power outage. These locations will be targeted early and targeted hard. The combination of cash, product, and vulnerable security makes them irresistible to organized criminal groups. Place 9, cell phone stores, number 9 on our danger list, and these have become shockingly consistent targets in 2025. Cell phone stores, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, Cricket Wireless Metro by T-Mobile, basically any store that sells smartphones and accessories. Let me give you the pattern we're seeing play out across America right now. Officers were dispatched to a T-Mobile store at South Figueroa Street and Slauson Avenue at 2:46 in the morning during looting, connected to street takeovers. And in West Philadelphia, another T-Mobile location got hit during those incidents we keep referencing. Notice the pattern? T-Mobile keeps coming up. It's not coincidence. These stores are being specifically targeted. Here's why the appeal is so obvious, it's almost stupid. Smartphones are compact, incredibly valuable, and have a guaranteed resale market. Every single phone in a display case represents $500 to $1,500 in value. Do the math on a small cell phone store, you could easily be looking at $100,000 or more in total inventory. But here's what makes this even more relevant during a blackout specifically. People need phones to communicate, to check for emergency updates, to coordinate with family members, to call for help. When the power goes out, phones become lifelines. So you've got this weird collision happening. Legitimate customers who desperately need to buy or replace devices are showing up at the same time opportunistic looters are targeting the same stores. That mixture of desperate people and criminals creates an incredibly volatile situation. And think about the psychology for a second. During a blackout, your phone battery is everything. It's your flashlight, your news source, your connection to the outside world. Some people will do whatever it takes to get a working device with battery life. Now add in the fact that cell phone stores usually have minimal security even during normal operations. Maybe 2 employees max, no armed guards, basic alarm systems that don't work without power. These places are soft targets by design. The other thing that makes cell phone stores dangerous during blackouts is their locations. They're everywhere. Strip malls, downtown corridors, shopping centers, standalone buildings. You can't avoid being near one even if you try. So here's my advice, and it's pretty straightforward. During a blackout, use the phone you already have. Don't try to upgrade. Don't try to replace a broken device. Don't attempt to buy accessories or chargers from retail stores. All right, let's bring this home, because what we just covered could literally save your life or the lives of people you care about. We've walked through 12 specific danger zones that transform into absolute chaos the second a blackout hits. Big box grocery stores where coordinated groups are already planning mass looting events. Electronics retailers that get swarmed within the first hour. Pharmacies where desperate people and criminals collide. Liquor stores, jewelry stores, shoe stores, places you probably drive past every single day without a second thought. High-end sporting goods stores in those upscale shopping districts where you feel safe until you don't. Cannabis dispensaries sitting on cash and product, cell phone stores when everyone desperately needs communication, auto parts stores in isolated commercial zones, convenience stores staffed by one person, and those downtown retail corridors where everything we just talked about exists within a 10-block radius. But here's the reality nobody wants to accept. The Department of Energy isn't kidding around with that warning about blackout hours potentially increasing 100 times by 2030. 318 counties across 45 states are already classified as high risk for prolonged power outages. This isn't some distant future scenario. This is happening right now in 2025. And what happened in 1977 New York, 4,500 arrests, over 1,000 fires, neighborhoods turned into war zones. That's not ancient history. That's the blueprint. That's what we're facing again, except now criminals can coordinate in real time through social media. They can hit multiple locations simultaneously. They can organize faster than law enforcement can respond. So what do you do with this information? You prepare. You mentally map your city right now and identify where these 12 danger zones are located. You plan multiple routes home that avoid commercial districts and retail corridors. You stock up on emergency supplies now while the lights are still on, so you never have to venture out during a crisis. You create a family communication plan with meeting locations that aren't anywhere near these target zones. You make sure everyone in your household knows which areas to avoid and why. Because when that next blackout hits, and it will hit, you won't have time to Google this information. You won't have time to debate or second guess. You'll need to act immediately based on what you know right now. The 12 places we covered today aren't random. They're backed by actual 2025 incidents, historical patterns from previous blackouts, and law enforcement intelligence. This is real-world data that proves these patterns repeat every single time the power goes out. Your job isn't to live in fear. Your job is to be prepared, stay aware, and make smart decisions when everyone around you is panicking. Now, here's what I need you to do right now. If this video gave you information that could protect you and your family, smash that like button. I'm serious. Hit it right now. That like tells YouTube's algorithm that this is important content that needs to be shown to more people. And honestly, this could be life-saving information for someone who hasn't thought about this stuff yet. Drop a comment below and tell me which place on this list surprised you the most. Was it number 7, those high-end sporting goods stores? Was it the auto parts stores that most people don't even think about? Let me know in the comments, because I read every single one, and your insights help me create better content for this community. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell. Because I'm dropping emergency preparedness content regularly that covers everything from grid down scenarios to urban survival strategies to budget friendly prepping tips that actually work.